Hey guys, in this video we are going to be looking at selectors in CSS. Now here's my HTML document. I've got the declaration and the header tags and the HTML tags and the style tags, and I've deleted my link rel to my external style sheet, and I've deleted all my inline CSS. So from now on I am basically mostly going to be working using the internal style sheet excuse me, because it's the easiest to see, because you can see both the CSS and the HTML as long as I don't have an a very long HTML document. So here's my HTML document in my browser. We've got the h1 tag with some text inside, and we've got two paragraphs with some text inside as well. So just like before, when I want to I think I have a cold. Okay, when we wanted to change the font of your paragraph tag, you select P and you use the curly brackets and you do font color, and you do the colon and you say blue. Now if I save this and refresh here, both my P tag text will be blue. Now what if I want to specify that only this I want to make it blue and this I want to make it into a different color, or I just want to keep it to default? Now you could either use the internal inline CSS to just change the color of this text P tag to blue. However, there's a better, easier way to do it. We use something called selectors. Now P is technically a selector because you're specifying that the P tags in this document will be color blue using the declaration. However, we can make custom selectors so that we don't have to just rely on tag names. For example, the first thing we're going to learn is called ID. Now ID gives an ID, which is like a name to that specific tag. We use an attribute within the start tag of that specific tag you want to give the ID to. So for example, if I go to this P tag and say ID equals, and inside this ID I give it an ID, say blue. No, blue, that would do. Yeah. It could be anything, it could be like P1, it could be hello, it could be blue, it could be anything, but just because for now I am changing this text to blue, I'll give it an ID of blue so that it's easier to see. Now instead of P we are going to use the ID blue, but because it's an ID, not a tag, we need to write something before the name of the ID in between our style tags. So over here, before blue, we are going to type this, which is a hash, a sharp. It's a musical note, not note. It's a musical sign, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's called hash. Hash. No, screw it. I'll just call it hash for now, but then I'll Google it and see what the official name is. Okay, well, we need to put that symbol before to define that this blue is an ID. So let's save this and refresh here. So now the second paragraph tag, because it doesn't have an ID of blue, like over here, doesn't change its font to blue, and this first paragraph changes its font to blue. Okay, so that's ID. The one feature of ID is that you can't have the same ID in one HTML document. So if I call this P tag an ID of blue, we can't call this an ID of blue too. We just can't. So what if we want to say that everything I select as, or I call it blue, I want to change the font to blue. So what if I want to change the h1 tag as well as this text in the p tag to blue? Now instead of ID, we can use another selector called class. Class has an attribute, a structure of exactly or 99% similar to ID, except that ID is replaced by class. So we have the start tag, and inside that we have an attribute class equals double brackets, and then we just call it a class name. Say green if you want to change it to green. And over here within our styles, for when we're using CSS for a tag name in HTML, we just said P. When we are using it for IDs, we gave it a hash and said the name green. But then when we're doing it for a class, instead of a hash or nothing, we just put a dot. So we write dot green, and that says that anything that has a class of green, the color will be, let's change that to green because that would be stupid if the color changes to blue. Now with class you can have multiple class attributes with the same name inside an HTML document, so we could call it class equals green here as well. So let's save our work and refresh here. There we go. So both the text inside the h1 tags and the p tags that has been given a class of green over here has now changed its font color to green. So there we go. And if I wanted to change this font color to red, I could either use class equals red if I want to use it for multiple tags, or I could just simply give it an ID of red. It can be anything. The ID name just really could be anything, but for this tutorial I'm just going to give it a really simple red. So excuse me, for our ID we use this hash sharp music sign and say the ID name, which is red, and give it a curly bracket, and inside that let's change the color to red and save our work and refresh. There we go. So that was another way of setting styles for HTML, which is using ID selectors and class selectors. ID selectors and class selectors are really useful. I won't go into much details for now, but when we actually creating or structuring our website, when we're initially designing our website, selectors and class selectors are really useful for creating the structuring our website, and I will talk about that in my later videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.